Well, thank you, French. Much love and greetings to you all. Now, we all begin the preparation for Thanksgiving, and we all do have so much to be so thankful for. Take a moment and thank the people in your life who you have not thanked lately. Thank God, or whoever you happen to believe in, and thank yourself for being the best you that you can be. We don't spend enough time giving thanks. We all think about it, but we don't do it enough. So do it. Thank people, thank God, thank yourselves. Okay. And I am so thankful to all of you. And I want to send out my congratulations to Zach and Marley on their fantastic B'nai Mitzvah, who handled the entire service and not just the Torah reading. Now, not many kids undertake to do so much. And I don't think too many of their guests expected it. While most bar or bat mitzvahs just do their little bit from the Torah or half Torah, the entry into adulthood is about being able to lead, but knowing how to put together a service and honor the prayers. And they did a great job of that. And they got to read from our new Torah, which arrived in time. And of course, it's not really new, but it is new to us. It's about 250 years old. It is kosher. And it is in great shape. So it's fantastic. And next time I'll try and have it so you can all see it. And friends, as you can imagine, if you have read this parsha already, the kids had a very interesting parsha to do, and they had very interesting comments and questions about it. But first, I do want to send special birthday greetings to my great mentor, Baruch, a special man, a great thinker who encouraged me to grow in so many ways, who helped me in so many things that I do. His birthday marks the beginning of the new month, the month of Kislev. Now, last week I said Kislev is the month of Hanukkah, which I remind you does start on December the 12th this year. And this is the month that represents concealment and revelation. The light is concealed and revealed. We begin the winter, the darkest time of the year, and the search for light begins. Days get shorter and shorter, and we have the longest night of the year, and thus we get the revelation of light. The restoration of light begins one day at a time, and it gets bigger and bigger. The restoration of light also brings the restoration of hope, of faith, of mystery. It is a month of dreams, my friends, of hopes, of promise. And so all these things I wish for your birthday, Baruch. Have a fantastic one. And I had the joy of seeing a great old Bostonian friend the other day, my friend Dr. Jeffrey, who I shared some fabulous time with, along with our new friend Nelson. We all had a great time telling stories, jokes, and catching up. And I found out my dear old pal Tony was away, and I wish him a safe journey westward as he goes to visit his old flame Lolly. Right? And I said I would say hello to everybody. So hello, Jeffrey. Hello, Tony. Hello, Dolly. And do not forget, we will be doing the change in season and memorial candle service on the 21st of December, the winter solstice. So please start sending in your names. It's never too early. Of those who you miss, of those you love. It could be friends, could be family, pets, any spirit you want to honor. Feel free to send them in now. And let us once again come together and celebrate as a like-minded group in a showing of faith. As a community, a chavur, a fellowship, as we join together to express our nature of kindness, of compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that actually does unite us all. As we come together every week in this community house of Spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Hine Matov. שבטחים גם יחד, הנה בטוב ודי, שבטחים גם יחד. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers, for sisters together. Community, community. Community together. And we are a community, my friends. All together, let us spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Men, women, equally, brothers and sisters together. And it was so wonderful hearing from my dear old friend Devorah the other day. She is special. She holds so many in her heart and is held in so many others. So let's take this time to think of others, to share energy and renew and send healing renewal to all our beloved friends, our family members, our pets, ourselves, and let us send renewal and goodwill and healing to the whole world, my friends. Avenu Malkeinu, our Father, our King. Listen, hear our prayers, and allow us to be guided with wisdom Let's send special words for those in need of renewal. For physical renewal, emotional, mental, spiritual. For Ben, for Monty, for Anna, for Cass, for Justin, for Veronica's father, Aubrey, for Rosemary. For all of you, for everyone in the world, the kindness, healing, wishes, goodwill, and love that you all send out, well, it just keeps circling the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each and every one of you, for all you do, for all you care, because spirit never dies. Me, Sheberach, Avoteinu, Makor HaBracha, Limoteinu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Mishaberach, let us all have our spirits renewed the world over. Well, welcome, friends, because this week we take another huge turn in history as we read toldot, the records. Now, last week we read about the death of Sarah, the marriage of Isaac. Now, this week we read what is often presented as being a family history, but in this case, it's not just of a family, but of an era. It can be like looking through sacred archives. Now, in the case of the Bible, these genealogies, or toldot, very much separated eras or major events. Now, the first, without calling it such, separated the Garden of Eden stories from Noah. Then the next one covered the change from Noah to Abraham, each marking major shifts in the Torah's direction, but all with keeping to the twin theme of faith and love. And surprisingly, this official record section, the only one called the records, the toldot, has the shortest archive of any of those toldot, 1. But this is an introduction to the most famous twins in biblical history, Jacob, whose name is changed to Israel, and his twin brother, Esau. Now, we read about the sale of the birthright and the great deception of Isaac as he blesses the wrong child, and because of his actions, Jacob flees. Now, the events which unfold from their story determine the history and the future of the people. It is a story of deceptions, of karma and its return. It is a story of faith, or lack therein, and the choice between love, forgiveness, and generosity, and selfishness, hurtful resentment, and fear. It's a hell of a choice. And just as the last Parsha had out-of-order stories, well, like the second marriage of Abraham, so does this one. So don't try and follow it, in terms of the order, because you have the one of these Isaac Abimelech episodes, which obviously does not belong here. It's another of the identical, no, she's my sister stories, right? There's 3 of those. Do not let it divert you from the real lessons that are embedded in this section. Now, we actually begin with a mini annunciation to initiate the tale of twins. And we get the immediate hints that this may very well be the story of the greatest sibling rivalry in history, one that has never ceased being played out. And friends, the crucial point in this story of the birth of the twins is not the fact of birth itself, but the future fate of struggle between the siblings. Now, we all know the reasons for the relationship as we've been taught it. We even see the Parsha end with Esau still struggling to obtain a parent's love and appearing to be seething with hatred for his brother, wanting him dead. And yet we never feel that Esau is unjustified in his feelings. We have an incredible, rare, biblical, oracular prediction at the beginning when Rebekah asks God about the struggle within her. And it all begins because Isaac prays for his wife to get pregnant. They've been married 20 years and she hasn't gotten pregnant. So she goes and asks God about the struggle within her. And we translate this as she is told, the elder will serve the younger. And that's, maybe almost in our effort to justify the behaviors that end up playing out. But the Hebrew syntax, and this is where translation's often a problem, but the Hebrew syntax leaves unclear which noun is subject and which is object. And so the oracular message can equally be the elder shall serve the younger, or the elder the younger shall serve. Right? same words. And like the great Delphic oracles in Greece, this prediction contains two completely opposite meanings. So the person who receives it, Rebecca, can hear whatever she wants, right? Either consciously or subconsciously. But again, don't we all? When we all get one of these oracular messages, don't we all hear what we want to hear? Well, we're then told that each parent favored a child. And Isaac loved Esau for the game that he brought him, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Now, friends, this is a petri dish of trouble brewing. We're not told too much about their growth years, as we now just jump ahead and we see Jacob convince Esau to sell him his birthright. But why? Why? It's such an incredible question, one that comes up again and again in this story, but is never addressed. Now, we're told that Esau thought, why not? What good does, a birthright do him if he dies of hunger? I don't know that he was going to die of hunger. And here's where we start to see different beliefs come up. And some of those beliefs have to do with what happens when you're dead. And it's a topic that's really rarely examined in this part of the Bible. But one that says, that you got the one group that says, hey, it all stops at death. So when you're dead, you're dead. So, what does he need to worry about the birthright? And of course, the other is things keep going. And the seeds now get sown for this great spiritual circle of life that, many think are still being, played out. Instant karma's gonna get you. Gonna knock you right in the head. Better get yourself together. Pretty soon you're gonna be dead. Now, karma. It's become such a fantastic topic of life or of afterlife. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Genesis 27:1 shows us the blind, old, feeble, and infirm Isaac calling Esau to him and asks him to go hunt some game that he might eat before he dies. And there, like in a great mystery, we cut to the outside of the tent. Rebecca is busy listening in. Well, she calls her beloved Jacob. Genesis 27:7. Look, I've heard your father speaking to Esau, your brother, saying, bring me some game and make me a dish that I may eat, and I shall bless you in the Lord's presence before I die. Right? Which means he knows he's dying. So now, my son, listen to my voice, to what I command you. Go, pray to the flock, and fetch me from there 2 choice kids that I may make them into a dish for your father of the kind that he loves. And you shall bring it to your father, and he shall eat, so that he may bless you before he dies. And here it's great. Jacob says, look, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I'm a smooth-skinned man. What if my father feels me, and I seem a cheat to him, and bring on myself a curse and not a blessing? Now notice, friends, his trepidation, his fear of being found out and cursed instead of blessed. Where is the moral outrage of cheating his father and his brother? It's surely noteworthy that Jacob expresses no compunction, only fear of getting caught. Now, what does that say about him? What does it say about his mother? Now, Rebekah prepares the meal. And Rebekah took the garments of Esau, her elder son, the finery that was with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son, and the skins of the kids she put on his hands and on the smooth part of his neck. She's thinking. She devises the costume to fool her husband. She is the architect of the deception, and we never know why. Now remember, we were told why Isaac loved Esau more, but never why Rebekah loved Jacob. Why? What a great question, and like I said, it comes up over and over again in this parsha. Well, Isaac, he's not stupid. He suspects it's Jacob, not Esau. But he doesn't trust his instincts. He even says the voice is Jacob's, but the skin is Esau, and he proceeds to bless the wrong son. Well, you know what, friends? The extent of Rebekah's cunning is fully revealed. Now, one might have wondered, why Jacob needed his brother's garments to appear before a father incapable of seeing them. Now we realize. She's anticipated the possibility that Isaac would get so close and try to smell Jacob. And so by putting the clothes of Esau on him, it is Esau's smell that he detects in Jacob fooling him that way. And friends, I think one of the greatest biblical questions ever asked is asked at this point, and yet it is like never talked about. Genesis 27:18. Who are you, my son? I love that question because many translations actually get it wrong. They say, which of my sons are you? But that's not the same question. To ask, who are you, invites the opportunity for true soul searching. Who are you? Now Jacob leaves. Esau enters. Isaac realizes what has happened, and he and Esau both scream in anguish. As Esau says, bless me too, father. And Isaac says, your brother has come in deceit and has taken your blessing. Come in deceit. Now, how will that now follow someone? Well, Jacob actually suffers some corresponding recompense for every deception he commits, as do Laban, Rachel, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, and Joseph's other brothers as the story progresses. That, my friends, is karma starting to be created. Now, the lesson is not only that people are not perfect, but that acts of deception can fester in a family and that they do have consequences. And this is consequences now for pretty well, the rest of the whole, Jacob and Joseph stories all the way down into Egypt. And I think of one of the great George Harrison classics about karma, a song I've probably not listened to that much. It's called The Answers at the End. Scan not a friend with a microscopic glass. You know his faults, let his foibles pass. Life is one long enigma, my friend. So read on, the answers at the end. Don't be so hard on the ones that you love. The ones that you love, we think so little of. Don't be so hard on the ones that you need. It's the ones we need, we think so little of. The speech of flowers exceeds the flowers of speech. What's often in your heart's the hardest thing to reach. Life is one long mystery, my friend. So live on, the answers at the end. And yes, my friends, the answer is at the end. Well, Esau despised Jacob because of the blessing with which his father had blessed him. And Esau says in his heart, the days of mourning for my father will be soon gone, and I'll kill my brother Jacob. And that helps give us the justification that Jacob was good and Esau was evil. But to rub it in further, Genesis 28:6, and Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him to Paddan Aram to take a wife for himself from there. And when he blessed him, and he had commanded him, saying, you shall not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. Now, the same thing Abraham said about Isaac. So Esau sees that the daughters of Canaan were bad in his father Isaac's eyes. Genesis 28:9. And Esau went to Ishmael and took Mahalath, daughter of Ishmael, son of Abraham, sister of Nebaioth, in addition to his wives as a wife for him. So he tries to please his father by going and taking a non-Canaanite. Even this would not be good enough to earn the love of parents. Yes, the world is sacred and so is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them, friends. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, an end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let us send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, good healing to all who need it. And please do, learn to forgive and learn to love. Learn to love yourself. Open your hearts and honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that lead through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, and great Thanksgiving to everybody. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe. We do set in motion all that happens in our lives, our intention, our caveat, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. Now, as I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You do have knowledge of what is good and what is bad, so acknowledge everything that you've done wrong, to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. And do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. And forgive those you've hurt as you learn to be a forgiving and compassionate person. Now, the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. And think about what the meaning of acceptance is. Can you accept yourself, other people, the world, just as they are on any given day? Can you accept life just as it is? You can't always control everything. If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance does bring. Now, do not stop your journey, my friends. Do not stop moving towards your